Upping your protein is only going to help you to a point when trying to build more muscle. And once you've hit that requirement, how you really need to up your carbohydrates. Let's talk about it. Generally speaking, the protein requirement for most people is 0.7 to a gram per pound of body weight. Now, if you're really trying to top that out for optimal growth, 1.5 to 2 grams per pound of desired weight is about where it tops off. And then any additional protein is just going to be fed into what we're going to talk about next. We've expended a bunch of energy, we've damaged some tissues, we've disrupted our energy balance, okay? So that anti-catabolic process has to happen first. We have to replenish energy, we have to kind of like reset the systems that we perturbed, that we disrupted during our training. Then, once we've taken care of that, I like to put it like, we've made our body comfortable to allow for the anabolic process to start. Then we can start building new tissues, new structures, okay? Now let's kind of go through the requirements for each of these processes, right? They both require energy, so calories, right? kcal. They both require those calories to come in some form of specific substrate. So we can use just about anything for the anti-catabolic process. The body is versatile like that. But the thing about carbs, specifically sugars, is they're like ready-made to be plugged right into that process. Then for the anabolic process, we know we need proteins. The anti-catabolic process must happen. That has to happen. It's necessary for the survival of the organism, right? We have to be able to heal. We have to be able to recover. We have to be able to maintain our energy balance for survival, reproduction, all these things, right? So that has to happen. The anabolic process in the context that we're talking, so bigger biceps, for instance, that requires a specific training stimulus. Furthermore, it doesn't just require a bunch of random amino acids. There is a leucine, an essential amino acid, one of the branched chains. There is a leucine trigger that's required to kind of get the assembly line moving. I weigh 150 pounds. I'm trying to get to 170. So I'm gonna go 340 grams of protein. So 2 grams per pound, right? Okay, cool. You've already flipped that anabolic trigger. Like the assembly line's moving now, right? And you have plenty of the amino acid portion of the substrate, but you also need energy to fuel that process. And while that process is underway, you need to make sure that that other recovery process, the anti-catabolic process, is satisfied. Keeping that in mind, yeah, you can make excess protein into an energy source to put into the anti-catabolic process, but sugars, carbs, starches, they're already basically made to just plug and play. So that combination of hitting your protein requirement and then upping your calories with carbs is very powerful for putting on muscle size as quickly as possible. Let's top out your protein requirement. So 1.5 or 2 grams per pound of your desired weight, not what you weigh now, but what you want to weigh. And then anything more than that, let's add as much carbs as you can eat, right? So we check a lot of boxes there. Our cup runneth over with substrate that we can plug into that energy balance equation to fuel both the recovery process and the anabolic process. And then with our protein requirement, we have more than enough free-floating amino acids to break apart and put back together in whatever configurations our body decides it needs them for. And then we're good. And then we have an energy surplus in case other things are going on. Because remember, stress is accumulative, right? So you might want, as a 2024 human, to add an inch to your bicep, but you might have other things going on. You might be sick in there and your immune system's fighting something off, and that takes some calories. and you might have a project due in school or at work, and you're thinking about it, and that's taking some energy too. That's adding stress. And you might have some relationship stuff going on over here and some other things, and maybe the weather, maybe it's cold outside, so you're using extra energy just to maintain your body temperature. And then maybe your job or your life has you walking 12,000, 14,000 steps a day, and so that's taking up extra energy. And maybe there's other things you want to do. Maybe you're not just a bodybuilder, like most of you probably aren't. Maybe you're, a regular person, or maybe you do some other sport. Maybe you do jujitsu. Maybe you play a ball sport, right? So you have other demands for your energy requirement on top of recovery, on top of muscle building. So having an extra surplus of the thing that you can just plug right into that equation is really good. It keeps kind of everything comfortable so that that extra thing you want, remember, building muscle is extra, that extra thing you want, you have plenty of resources to do it with. Building muscle is like going on vacation. You know what I mean? You might want to go on vacation, but you can't go on vacation if you don't have enough money to buy your groceries and pay for gas and pay for your bills, right? You need to do all that day-to-day stuff that keeps you going first. And then when you have enough extra money and extra time, then you can be like, oh, okay, I can spend a couple grand and take a week off work and go do this thing. You have to first take care of the process that has to happen no matter what you want anyways, which is the recovery, restoration of energy balance, all that good stuff that all organisms do because it's baked into our genes automatically. Take care of that, provide for that, then make sure you fulfill the necessary requirements, the necessary specific additional requirements for anabolism. Stay in the fight, folks.